guys, my name is Chloe. I hope you're all doing well. I am a yoga teacher based in Macclesfield and I'm so excited to be part of this East Cheshire Hospice Pounds for Pounds challenge that you are all taking part in. So as part of the challenge, I've been asked to provide some yoga for you. So I'll be making some videos. There'll probably be 5 or so videos, different styles of yoga, some Vinyasa, which is a little bit more challenging, and some Yin yoga as well, which is a lot more still. But with all aspects of yoga, just really connecting back to yourself, to your breath, to the present moment, and just taking that time for you to just slow down. So today's practice, we are going to be doing a Vinyasa flow. It's going to be about an hour long. So if you just make sure that you're wearing some comfy clothes, if you have a yoga mat, that's great. If not, don't worry about it. And also if you do have, you'll probably be at home doing this. So if you have some books, or if you have yoga blocks or bricks, great, have those to hand. If not, if you've just got some books, maybe grab those. And for this particular practice as well, if you have a dressing gown rope, the tie that goes around a dressing gown, if you have that, maybe just grab that to hand. You can use instead of a strap. So as always with yoga and with any practice, just make sure that you really keep checking back in throughout. Take rests and take breaks whenever you need to. And if you haven't done any yoga before, I will be talking a lot to breath throughout. So I'll be guiding you when to breathe in, when to breathe out. Vinyasa is very much about the synchronization of breath and movement. If you've not done it before, if you can't keep up with the inhales, with the exhales when I say, do not worry, just make sure that you are breathing in general. That is key. And most importantly, just enjoy. Like I say, rest whenever you need to, take options and modifications. That is what they are there for. So we're going to start. So if you just get onto your mat, and we're going to start in a kneeling position today. So coming to find a comfortable kneeling position. Taking your hands, resting them on the knees. And then just start to close down through your eyes. So just taking these first few moments, as always, just to really settle, to soften into our practice. Really arriving in the moment and on your mat. Starting to tune out anything external, any mind chatter, any thoughts of what may have happened yesterday or what might happen tomorrow, what you're having for dinner tonight or breakfast. Just starting to become aware of what you can sense and what you can feel around you. Feeling the connection of your shins on the mat. Maybe feeling the temperature of the air on your skin. And then taking your awareness now to the soles of your feet. And working your way up the whole of your body to the crown of your head. Lightly scanning your body for any areas of stress, any areas of tension. And then with each and every inhale, just lengthening through your spine a little more, finding ease in the shoulders. And with every exhale, just allowing that tension to fizzle away. Sending your breath to those areas. Letting go of anything that doesn't serve you. So as well as observing how you're feeling in your physical body right now, taking time to check in with how you're feeling mentally and emotionally. And notice whether there is maybe a reason that you have decided to take part in this yoga practice. If there is maybe something you're wanting or needing to give yourself. And I invite you now just to set an intention around that. Something that you can keep coming back to throughout your practice, something you can remind yourself of and honour. Whatever that looks like for you, know that that is right. So just taking your hands to your belly now and starting to connect a little more to your breath. Not changing anything at first, just simply observing, being that external watcher with no judgment and with no expectation. Just noticing your inhales and your exhales. Maybe the coolness of the air on your nostrils as you inhale. And maybe feeling the warmth as you exhale. And then starting to deepen your breath a little bit more now. So as you inhale, feeling your belly really balloon. As you exhale, feeling as your navel, your tummy draws back towards your spine. Again, breathing in, belly balloons. As you exhale, navel draws back towards the spine, almost slight contracting of the stomach muscles. Inhaling, belly balloons, this time drawing that breath up into your rib cage. Draw it up even further into your chest and then pause, hold your breath at the top, your whole body full. Feel a sense of lengthening, the crown of your head growing tall towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale through your nose, first of all release that breath from your chest, your rib cage. And again, finally, your belly, navel drawing back to spine. Feel that sense of grounding, sit bones into heels. Again, inhaling, belly balloons, rib cage expands, chest rises. Hold the breath at the top. As you exhale, chest falls, rib cage releases, navel draws back to spine. Hold at the bottom. Inhale, belly balloons, rib cage expands, chest rises. Pause at the top. Staying connected to what is happening in your body, where you can feel the breath. And as you exhale, chest falls, rib cage releases, navel draws back to spine. So just coming back to your natural breath now. Again, just breathing in and out through your nose. Know that if the mind wanders throughout your practice, that is completely natural, completely normal. Again, holding no judgment, just accept and acknowledge where it goes, and then let the thoughts pass. Come back to your breath, come back to the sensations that you feel happening in your body. On the inhale now, taking both hands up above the head. You can keep the eyes closed or you can maybe flutter them open. As you exhale, right hand drops down to the side of your mat, left hand reaches overhead. Inhale, take it back up to center. Deep breath in, reaching all the way to the fingertips. Exhale, left hand drops down, right hand reaches overhead. Keeping sit bones connected to heels. Inhale, take it back up. One more time, exhale, right hand drops down, left hand reaches overhead. See if you can maybe take it a little deeper this time. Inhaling, reaching hands back up. Exhaling, Left hand drops down, right hand reaches overhead. Inhale, take it back up. On the next exhale, you're going to take your right hand behind you, left hand in front. See if you can take the gaze on that right thumb behind. So keeping ease in the shoulders here, twisting through the side body. If you want to take it a little deeper, maybe drop that right hand down to the mat behind you, left hand reaches overhead, opening and creating space through the left side body and through the front of your body. Inhaling. Taking it back. Arms out wide. On the next inhale, hands come back to center, reaching up and overhead. On the exhale, opening up the opposite way, so left arm behind, gaze on that left thumb. Reaching all the way to fingertips, ease in the shoulders here. Again, if you want to maybe take it a little deeper, dropping down to that left hand behind you, right hand reaches up and overhead. Taking it back, arms out wide, inhaling hands, reaching up and overhead. On the exhale now, taking those hands behind you, you're going to interlace your fingers. So squeezing the heels of the hands, the palms of the hands together and shoulder blades together. Just coming up onto the toes if that feels good, taking a gentle toe stretch here. So squeezing shoulder blades, chest, heart space shining forwards. Slowly starting to release. You're going to take the palms of your hands now to your knees. So this time opening through the upper back, so really drawing shoulder blades apart, chin comes to chest. And we're going to flow through a variation on cat-cow whilst holding this toe stretch. So as you inhale, moving the hands up the thighs towards the hip creases, you're then going to squeeze shoulder blades together again, chin lifts, chest opens. As you exhale, rounding through the upper back, hands slide back to the knees, shoulder blades draw apart. Inhaling, chin lifts, chest opens, hands to hip. Exhale to round. So linking this breath with your movement, and seeing if you can make it almost like a fluid movement, like a wave. So the inhale and the exhale, the movement's connected to both, merging into one another. So there's no real end or start to one. And then from here you can take any movement that feels good to you. So maybe just moving the body around in circles one way or another. Just closing down through the eyes, keep connected to what feels good in your body in this moment. And no, there's no way you can do it right or wrong. You might feel a bit silly, but no one is watching. And then coming to find stillness. Taking your hands just in front of you. Releasing the toes, you might just want to pat the feet out here, tops of the feet. And then we're going to tuck the toes under again, take it straight into our downward facing dog. So feet hip distance apart, fingers spread wide, and just walking the dog out a little bit here. So really lifting your bottom up towards the ceiling. Head, neck relaxed, and again just finding ease in the shoulders. And you can take again any movement that feels good for you here in this down dog, maybe rocking side to side or back and forth. Finding some stillness, taking your gaze between the hands. Coming up onto tiptoes and just slowly walking your feet towards your hands, standing with them hip distance apart, and again just taking some nice gentle bends into your knees here. And you're just going to take a pause with a bend in the left knee and reaching that right hand up towards the ceiling, taking your gaze on that thumb, twisting again through the side body here. Exhale, release, take it back to center. You can keep as much of a bend in the knees as feels good. Just walking the knees out again. Pausing with a bend in the right knee this time, left leg straight. Left hand reaches up towards the ceiling, taking your gaze on that thumb. As you exhale, taking it back to that forward fold. On your inhale now, you're going to take your hands out as wide as you can and slowly lift up vertebrae by vertebrae, all the way to standing. Really feeling into the spine as it unravels, reaching hands up above the head, sparking all the way to fingertips, take a really deep breath in here. Palms come to touch, hands come down to heart center, exhaling. Folding forward, Uttanasana, so hinging from the hips, leading with the chest, and taking as much of a bend into the knees here as feels good, really feeling into the feet. Inhale, hands out wide, feeling into the spine as it unravels vertebrae by vertebrae. Taking those hands out wide up above the head. Inhaling. On the exhale again, hands through heart center. Fold forward, you can take a bend in the knees, feel it into the feet, into the legs. Inhaling, hands out wide, lifting up, feeling into the spine. One more time, exhaling, fold forward, hands through heart center. On the inhale, taking a halfway lift this time, so back flat, crown of the head reaching towards the front of the mat, hands extended either to the shins or to your mat. On your exhale, take those hands down towards the mat, spreading fingers wide again, and you're going to step both feet back into your high plank. So you want shoulders to be stacked over elbows over wrists, and pushing the heels away, engaging through your core here. Holding here for a couple of breaths, starting to build that strength. Staying connected to your breath, to what's happening in your body. Then dropping down to knees, elbows into the sides as you lower all the way down onto your tummy. As you inhale, hands either side of the chest here, taking it into a gentle baby cobra. So just lifting the chest off the mat, gazing down towards the mat. Exhale, lower down. Inhale again. Taking either baby cobra or maybe coming up a little more this time. You can still keep a bend into your elbows here. Exhale, lower back. Inhale. Taking it back again into your cobra, tucking your toes under. This time we're going to take it back to downward facing dog. Pushing the bottom up and back. Connecting back to your breath in down dog. Gazing in between the hands, slight bend in the knees. You can either step the feet forward or you can hop them towards the hands. As you inhale, take a halfway lift back flat. As you exhale, fold forward into Uttanasana. On the inhale, hands out wide as we did before, coming up to standing. Deep breath in, sparking all the way to fingertips. As you exhale, hands through heart center, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift back flat. Exhale, take the hands down, spread the fingers wide. Hop or step the feet back, high plank. And flowing through either chaturanga, if that is in your practice, or knees, chest, chin. So as we did before, dropping down to the knees, the chest, the chin. If you're flowing through chaturanga, you're just rolling the body forward slightly, lowering down to your low plank. Push through the tops of your feet. Inhale to your upward facing dog. And then everybody taking it back to down dog. So from here we're going to take it into our three-legged dog. So lifting up through the right leg now. Right leg lifts towards the ceiling. And you want to keep that foot flexed, squeezing through your thighs. It doesn't matter how high the leg is lifted, but try to keep your hips squaring towards the front of your mat here. Taking a bend now into that knee. So almost like you're stacking your right hip on top of your left. And you can maybe just rotate that right knee round in circles one way, gently opening through those hips a little more. Maybe round in circles the opposite way. There is an option here to drop down to your left knee as you're doing this. So either staying here in this baby scorpion with the knee bent, or you can take it into your wild thing. So with control, dropping the right leg over the body, bottom just drops down. And then as you inhale, pushing your hips up towards the ceiling, right hand reaches overhead. So your left hand is really grounding into the mat here, strong connection and foundation. As you exhale, take it all the way back over, push straight back to your downward facing dog. Coming to repeat on the opposite side, so inhaling, left leg lifts. Again, really flexing through the foot here, toes point towards the mat. Squeezing through the thighs so it's like you're hugging your muscle into your bone, it's wrapping around the bone. Hip square towards the front. Really using your breath. Then maybe bending at that knee, stacking left hip on top of right. And again, just maybe rotating, moving the knee around, drawing circles. One way, and then the other. Option. You can remain here, you can drop down to that right knee, or you can take it into your wild thing with me, so left leg over the body. Drop the bottom down just a little bit, and then as you inhale, pushing hips up towards the ceiling. Left hand up and overhead, right hand grounding into your mat. So you want that right leg to be extended out in front as well, so like bending the left knee, pushing the hips up towards the ceiling a little more. And as you exhale, take it back, push straight back to your downward facing dog. So just taking these wide, big toes to touch, dropping your bottom down to your heels here. We're just going to take a child pose for a couple of breaths. So when we come to child's pose, again, just focus on where your breath is happening in your body now. Notice the difference from when we first started the practice. And then just take a minute to focus on steadying that breath out, knowing that you control it, you own it. And you can harness it, you can use it at any point you need in both life off and on the mat to find some calm. Calming both body and mind. Okay, we're going to take it back to our downward facing dog. So tucking the feet under, lift the bottom up and back down dog. So know that we're building strength and flexibility in this Vinyasa practice. Taking your gaze in between the hands, slight bend in the knees, hop or step the feet forward. Inhale, halfway lift back flat. Exhale to fold forward again. On the next inhale now, we're going to find chair pose. So you're dropping the bottom low, hands reaching up towards the ceiling, shoulders drawing away from ears. Trying to keep the feet and the knees together here. As you exhale, folding down again. Inhale to halfway lift back flat. From here we're going to take it into a low lunge, so stepping the left leg back, dropping down to that left knee. As you inhale, you're going to draw the hands behind you and then take them up above the head. Reaching again all the way to fingertips and just allowing your hips here to start to really soften, and the movement is almost like in a softening forward rather than straight down. Hands come to heart center. So you can either keep the eyes open, maybe close down through your eyes here. Find ease in your shoulders, continue allowing the hips to let go. Inhaling, drawing the hands back up above the head. Again, spark all the way to fingertips. As you exhale, draw those hands behind you, interlacing the fingers like we did in the beginning of the practice, squeezing heels of hands and shoulder blades together, shining that heart space forward, opening through your chest, through your shoulders here. As you exhale, slowly releasing. So left hand comes to the inside of that right foot. You're going to reach up with the right hand now, taking a twist. So gazing up on that right thumb, and you want to really move that right shoulder blade down the spine. So upper arm bone really rotating back here. If you want to take it a little bit deeper, you can either bind that right hand behind your back, see if you can maybe take your left thigh, or you can take that right hand to your left foot. Staying up and open, lifted through the chest. Again, there's the option to close down through your eyes. Keeping the awareness on the internal, on what is happening in your body. Slowly releasing. From here, we're going to pivot on the front foot. We're going to take it into our Skandasana side lunge. So pivoting on the right foot, left leg extends out behind you to the side. Reaching that left hand up and overhead, finding this side lunge position. So you should feel all through the left side of the body opening up, creating new space here. If you want to take it a little bit deeper, you can maybe play with taking a bind. So right hand around the leg, the right leg, left arm behind the back, clasp and interlace those fingers. And we're opening through our hips, through our groin. Slowly starting to release. Taking your hands down to your mat, and you're just going to come to face, straightening out the legs. So right leg in front. Taking an inhale, just lifting up a little through the chest here. As you exhale, folding down that right leg. So the movement here is almost chest to thigh rather than nose to knee. You don't want to be rounding through your upper back. As you inhale now, dropping down to your left knee, lifting through the chest, low lunge. Exhaling, straightening out again, so straightening out through both legs. As you exhale, folding, traveling a little more down that right thigh. Linking breath and movement. Inhale, left knee drops, chest lifts. Exhale, folding down. Taking your time with this movement. Staying connected to the intention you set at the beginning of your practice, and practicing with both intention and attention to what is happening. From here, we're going to transfer the weight into that front foot, so you can take a little bend into the right knee, and we're going to see if we can take it straight into our standing split. So you're going to really need to power through this right foot, and we're going to see if we can lift through the left leg. So lifting that leg behind, again, hips straight, stay square towards the mat. Does not matter how high that left leg is lifted. Just maybe see if you can flex through the foot, toes point towards the mat, still engaging through the muscles in the leg here. And your standing leg, your right leg, you want it to be strong, but you can keep the joint in the knee soft here, so it doesn't need to be locked out. You'll find that you've got a lot more balance and strength if you're using the muscles in the leg. Again, if you're feeling playful, maybe take one hand to that right ankle. See what happens, observe the changes, maybe play with taking both hands to the ankle. Slowly releasing, taking the left foot back to meet the right, take a nice forward fold here. letting it all go, letting everything hang heavy. As you inhale, slowly lift up vertebrae by vertebrae. This time just letting the hands, the arms fall in front of you. Coming up slowly. Reaching the top, take the hands out wide, big breath in. As you exhale, you're going to swan dive the hands out to the side, this time folding forward. On the inhale, taking it back to chair pose, dropping the bottom low, reaching the hands up and in front, shoulders drawing away from ears, weight into heels. As you exhale again, folding forward. Inhale to halfway lift. Taking it back into our low lunge, so this time right foot steps back, dropping down to that right knee, taking it into a lunge position. As you inhale, drawing the hands out behind you, taking them up and overhead, sparking all the way to fingertips, just allowing the hips to start to soften, again in the forward motion. Eyes either open or closed. Hands come down to heart center. On the inhale, taking the hands all the way back up, reaching them up and overhead. Exhaling, hands behind the back, interlace the fingers, squeezing the heels of the hands together, shoulder blades together. Chin stays lifted here. And then from here, we're going to take it into our twist. So releasing the hands, right hand comes to the inside of that left foot, left hand reaches up towards the ceiling, gazing on the thumb there. And again, you want to be really rotating, moving that left upper arm bone back down the spine. Options to take it a little deeper, left hand behind the back to the right, find a bind, or left hand to the right foot, pushing your foot into the hand, chest stays lifted and open. Exhale, slowly releasing. So hands come back to the front of the mat. And then you're going to pivot here. We're taking it into our Skandasana, our side lunge, on the opposite side. So you're bending into the left knee this time. If the heel is lifted, that isn't a problem. You can maybe just pop the block or the book if you had that to hand underneath. Or you can stay on the tiptoes, or if you have any pain here, you can drop down onto your knee. And you want that right foot to stay flexed, toes pointing up towards the ceiling, right hand reaches up and overhead. Again, there is an option to take it a little bit deeper here. Maybe taking the bind, so left hand behind that left knee, right hand behind the back. Slowly releasing, pivoting, facing the feet towards the front of your mat. We're going to take it back into our front facing forward fold. You might just want to step the back foot in ever so slightly. Maybe take an inhale, lift through the chest first of all, and then as you exhale, folding down that front leg. Again, if you have the blocks or the books to hand here, you can just take them either side of that front foot, and it's just bringing the floor up to you a little bit more. As you exhale now, folding a little deeper, and then on the inhale, dropping down to that right knee, chest lift. Exhale, straightening everything out, folding down the left leg. Inhale, dropping down to right knee, chest lift. Exhale, straightening it all out. One more time, inhale, dropping down to right knee, chest lift. Shoulders drawing away from ears. Exhale, straightening it all out. And really using the breath here to just fold down that front leg again, chest to thigh, hips square towards the front. So from here, we're going to take it back into our standing split. So transferring that weight into the front foot. Slight bend into the knee. We're going to power, see if we can lift through the right leg this time, foot flexed. So again, hips squaring towards the mat. Does not matter how high that right leg is lifted. If you have the blocks to hand, again, maybe just take them, lifting the floor up to you a little bit more. And if you're feeling playful, again, play with taking one hand to the ankle, maybe play with taking two hands, and observe what happens in the body. Focusing your gaze and focusing your breath here. And if you wobble, if you fall over, that's part of the learning. Just get back up, try again. Slowly take both hands back to the mat, stepping the right foot back to the left, take a nice forward fold. Maybe take a real bend into the knees here, you can just sway side to side. Do whatever feels good. Inhale, swan dive, reverse swan dive, hands out wide, up above the head. Exhale, swan diving, folding forward. Inhale to halfway lift back flat. Exhale, take those hands, spread them wide on the mat, hop or step the feet back to high plank, and you can flow through your chaturanga or drop down to your knees, your chest, your chin. Exhale, sigh out. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes under, take it back, downward facing dog. Just really stretching it all out here. So you're staying here for a couple more breaths. You can stay here in your downward dog, or you can again take the knees wide, big toes to touch, allowing your chest to melt in towards the mat in child's pose. Connecting back to your breath, back to what is happening in the body now. So really staying connected, staying present, and being inquisitive in your practice as well. So whilst we're in these positions, just making those subtle changes in the alignment of the body. Maybe in your weight distribution, becoming familiar with what feels good for you, what maybe doesn't feel so good, and accepting and honouring that. Okay, we're going to take it back to down dog, tucking toes under, lifting the sit bones up and back. So taking it into our warrior one, so just rolling the weight forward, bending into the right knee and planting the right foot in between the hands. If you need to just shuffle it forward a little more, take a minute to do so. We're going to come onto the back foot. You're just going to turn it out 45 degrees, and as you inhale, lifting up strong warrior one, so hips facing the front of the mat, reaching hands up towards the ceiling. Again, easing the shoulders, and hips should be squaring towards the front here. But you still want to be grounding through the outer edge of that back foot. Deep breath in. On the exhale, take it to warrior two. So the back foot now is facing 90 degrees, it's facing the long edge of the mat, and the front foot facing the front of the mat. Gazing on the middle finger of that front hand, again find ease in the shoulders. Right knee should be stacked over the ankle, and you want to see if the heel of that front foot is in line with the center of the back foot. As you inhale, reaching forward, flip the right palm. Exhale, take it back overhead. We're going to find reverse warrior. So this left hand, can come down the back of the left leg or around the back to the right thigh. And you want to keep the bend in that front knee. Feeling and breathing into the right side body here. As you exhale, take it back, warrior two. From here, we're going to come to find Trikonasana, triangle pose. So straightening out through the front leg, reaching that right hand forward and then dropping it down to the inside of the right calf, left hand reaches up and overhead. So again, finding and creating space here. So all the way from the outer edge of that left foot to the fingertips of the left hand, reaching, sparking and engaging. Maybe take your gaze up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, take it back, warrior two. So linking our breath and our movement, we're going to flow through that again. Inhale, reach forward, flip the palm. Exhale, bring it back, reverse warrior. Keep the bend in that front knee. Inhale. Exhale, finding warrior two. Inhale, straightening out the front leg, reaching the hands forward. Drop the right hand down to the inside of the right calf. Left hand reaches up and overhead, finding a bit more space. Exhale, take it back, warrior two. So from here, we're going to inhale to reach both hands up above the head, turning to face the long edge of your mat. So toes just turned out ever so slightly. On the exhale, interlace the fingers behind the back, squeezing the heels of the hands together. Exhale to fold in front of you. So again, the movement in the hinging of the hips here in this wide-legged forward fold. And then releasing hands from where they are, we're going to take it into a slight twist. So left hand to right ankle. Right hand reaches up and overhead. So twisting here, gazing up on that right thumb. Again, right upper arm bone back and really drawing the left shoulder forward. As you exhale, release. Walking hands over the opposite way, right hand to left ankle, left hand reaches up and overhead. You can keep as much of a bend in the knees here as feels good for you. Okay, slowly releasing. And then pivoting on the feet now, facing the front of the mat. You're going to drop down to your right knee, left leg extended in front of you. We're taking a half split. So you want your right hip crease to be over the right knee. Left foot, toes flexed, pointing up towards the ceiling. Inhale, open up through the chest. And then as you exhale, if you want to maybe see if you can fold a little bit down that leg, feel free to do so. If not, you can keep the chest lifted. And maybe come onto books or bricks or blocks and just lift, staying open here, really feeling this through the left hamstring. From here, we're just going to slowly transfer the weight forward now, taking it into our lizard. So you want the left knee to be stacked over the left ankle, and then taking your hands just inside of that left foot. So really just checking in with how this feels first of all, staying connected and taking your time being mindful. It's a really deep hip and groin opener. So again, if you've got the blocks or bricks or books, just have those to hand, and you might want to take the hands onto those first of all, again just bringing the floor up to you a little more. If not, just taking the hands to the floor. Again, seeing how this feels. If you feel the body is inviting you a little deeper, you can drop down onto one forearm. Maybe drop down onto the second forearm. And just again allowing your hips to soften here. Really taking your time, being mindful and being aware of where your edge is, where your point of resistance is. Slowly start to lift up. So pop the weight back into the hands. You're going to tuck the toes of that right foot under, stepping in your own time. Take time, be mindful. That left leg back into downward dog, and just again pedal out through the feet a little bit here. It should feel really nice on the hips. Nice release. And then we're going to come to repeat on the opposite side. So again, just rolling the weight forward a little bit, bending into that left knee, planting the left foot in between the hands, pivot slightly on the back foot. Inhale to lift up into your warrior one, hips square towards the front of the mat. Find ease in the shoulders here. So again, left knee stacked over the ankle, and you can just play with stepping that foot out. Like I said, you know, be inquisitive, be playful, see what feels good in your body. There is no particular right or wrong. We all have different compression points in our bodies, and something that feels accessible to one person will not be physically accessible to another. So just adapt and be aware of what's going on for you. On the exhale, take it into warrior two. So back foot facing the long edge of the mat, front foot facing 12 o'clock. You want the pelvis to be neutral here. So notice if you feel a dip in the lower back. If you do, just drop the tailbone, lift the front of the pelvis. As you inhale, reach forward, flip the left hand. Exhale, take it back overhead, finding reverse warrior. So again, keeping that bend in the front knee. As you exhale, take it back, warrior two. On the inhale, we're taking it into Trikonasana, so straightening out through the front leg, reaching the hand forward, dropping that left hand to the inside of the left calf, right hand reaches up and overhead. Now in this position, you don't want to be dropped all the way down, so it's not about trying to get that left hand down to the mat, because you're collapsing through the side body here. You want to stay up, lifted and open. So just bring that left hand up, draw it up. Again, if you have a block, you can maybe take it on the block. Using the breath. As you exhale, take it back, warrior two. So again, linking breath and movement, flowing through that one more time. Inhale, reach forward, flip the left palm. Exhale, take it back overhead, reverse warrior. Keep the bend in the front knee. Feel the space being created in the left side body. Exhale, take it back, warrior two. Inhale, reach forward, straightening out through that left leg. Trikonasana, left hand drops down, right hand reaches overhead. And again, keep grounding through all corners of the feet. In this position, particularly the outer edge of that back foot, just make sure it's not lifting and reaching all the way to the right fingertips. Exhale, take it back, warrior two. On the inhale now, reaching those hands up above the head, coming to face the long edge of the mat. As you exhale, reaching hands behind the back, drawing shoulder blades. And then as you exhale, leading with the chest, with the heart space hinged from the hips, folding forward. So this time you can either keep the arms, the hands interlaced behind the back, or be playful. So reach the hands through the legs behind you, maybe take them around the ankles. See what feels good for you, maybe play with the weight distribution, pop it into the balls of the feet, into the heels of the feet. Maybe take a sway side to side. Really just connect to what feels good. Then we're going to take our twists again. So taking your right hand to your left ankle, reaching up and overhead with the left hand. Gazing on that thumb, rotating the left upper arm bone back. Exhale, release, walking hands over to the opposite side. Left hand to right ankle this time, right hand reaches up and overhead. And then slowly releasing, taking both hands down. And you're going to come to face the back of the mat. We're dropping down to our left knee and taking the half split again. So this time left hip crease over left knee, right leg reaching in front. And again, flexing through those feet as you inhale, open through the chest. You can either stay here or if it feels good and accessible for you, maybe come to fold down that leg, deepening the stretch through the hamstring a little more. But really focus on keeping the right toes pointing up towards the ceiling. And then we're slowly going to transition into our lizard. So taking the weight forward, and again the movement in the hips here is in the softening forward. Right knee stacked over right ankle, taking your hands to the inside of that right foot. So just again checking in with how this feels, what's happening in the body here. Notice if it feels good for you, and if so, maybe drop down to one forearm, take it a little deeper. Maybe play with dropping down to the second forearm. But just know that it's so much more important how we practice than what we practice. So continue practicing with the intention, with the attention. Remembering to meet yourself where you are and not pushing too much. You want to find that nice point of resistance and slowly just ease into it. Tucking the toes of the left foot under. You're just going to pivot the feet now, coming to face the front of your mat. Walking your hands all the way around. And then stepping the left foot back, taking that downward facing dog. Again, just maybe bending through the knees here. Walking it all out. And then we're going to take it into some gentle back bends. So just dropping all the way down to your knees. Waiting to the hands rolling the body forward. And then slowly lowering down onto your chest, onto your front. So you can take your hands down by your sides. And just allow a cheek to rest on the mat here. Again, coming back to your breath, to how you feel in your physical body, to your intention. Take a moment to notice and observe whether you have been honouring that. So we're going to take it into our locust now. So taking the crown of your head and facing 12 o'clock with it to the front of your mat. Your hands down by your side, palms face up towards the ceiling. So keeping the gaze down, you don't want to lift up and compress into the neck. So gaze down towards the mat. As you inhale, you're going to lift your chest and thighs off the mat, really extending your hands and your feet behind you. Really reaching, extending, maybe seeing if you can lift a little more. As you exhale, release, opposite cheek comes to rest on the mat. And you can maybe just windscreen wipe your legs side to side here. Might feel really nice, releasing the tension in the lower back. stillness facing 12 o'clock again. So coming back to locust, this time there is an option for bow if that is available to you. So either taking locust, again extending hands and legs behind, or coming into bow, so taking your right foot to your right hand, pushing feet into hands. As you inhale, again keeping the gaze down, not compressing into the neck, pushing feet into hands and lifting up through thighs, through chest, trying to keep the knees together. Remembering to use your breath here. Staying here for a couple more breaths. Bow or locust, option is yours. Exhale, release, lower it back down. Opposite cheek comes to rest, take a windscreen wiper. Okay, coming to stillness. So just taking your hands either side of the chest again, inhale to lift into your gentle cobra. And then we're just going to take it back to child pose, knees wide, big toes to touch, counteracting those back bends with a nice forward bend. It might be nice in this variation of child pose just to take your hands behind you, really allowing the shoulders to fall heavy here. So allowing as your breath now starts to settle, we're going to come into a few seated positions before we end our practice. So weight into hands, we're just going to lift up through the torso. And keeping the bend in the left knee, dropping down onto your bottom. The sole of the left foot comes to the inside of the right thigh, right leg extended out in front of you as we take it into a single seated forward fold. So inhale to reach hands up and overhead. And then as you exhale, you're just going to fold down that right leg. So again, the movement here is in the hinging of the hips and chest to thighs rather than nose to knee. You can keep as much of a bend in this leg as you like. And if you have that dressing gown strapped to hand, you might just want to pop it around the foot, and you can then just start to ease yourself forward. So you're trying to keep that spine long. Inhale, slowly start to lift up. Just take the feet together. Maybe just wiggle the legs out a little bit. And then we're going to come to repeat on the opposite side. Sole of right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Inhale to reach hands up above the head. And exhale to fold. Again, the movement in the hinging of the hips here. Using the breath to soften, so with every exhale, allowing the muscles to relax and to just fold and travel a little bit deeper. And then slowly starting to lift back up. Again, extending legs out in front of you, taking a gentle wiggle through those legs, hands behind the back. And then we're slowly going to lower down onto our back. So taking it onto the forearms first of all, slowly lowering all the way down. Just drawing knees into chest, taking a big hug, maybe rock side to side, massage through your spine. And then coming to stillness, extending the legs out in front of you now, hands down by your sides. Palms face up towards the ceiling. So keeping your eyes closed, Just now allowing every single part of you to become heavy, to melt into that support beneath you. Taking your awareness to the crown of your head, working your way down the whole of your body, this time to the very soles of your feet, and allowing each and every part of you to let go, to continue fizzling, relaxing, softening. Starting with the muscles around your eyes, around your mouth, allowing your jaw to become slack. Feeling the weight of your shoulders really drawing down, your arms, your hands, your hips falling out wide, the weight of your legs. Feeling those muscles that have worked so hard for you. Your ankles, your feet falling out wide. Allowing every single part of you to surrender into our final healing resting position, Shavasana. Starting to bring some awareness back to your body now. Just giving your fingers and toes a gentle wiggle. Reaching hands overhead, extending feet the opposite way. Take a really deep full body stretch. And then hug your knees into your chest. Rolling over to your right side. And then keeping your eyes closed whenever you are ready, coming up to find a comfortable seated position. Taking your hands to your heart center. So just taking these last few moments to finish your practice. Just checking back in with yourself and observing how you are feeling now. Whether anything has shifted for you from when we started the practice. Whether you're maybe feeling a little bit lighter, looser, or more open in whatever area or space that is for you. Coming back to think about the intention that you set at the beginning of your practice. Noticing whether there is a way you can maybe continue to honour that throughout the rest of your day and week ahead in life off your mat. And then finally taking the last moment to really appreciate and acknowledge yourselves for taking this time out of your day to connect to some movement, to some stillness, to really give back to yourself, back to your body as you are doing on this whole 12-week challenge. Giving back to yourself. Your body works so hard for you every single day. And giving back to the community, raising thumbs for an amazing course. Taking one last deep breath in through your nose. As you exhale, sighing it all out, bowing your head chin to chest. Namaste. Thank you very much, everybody. I hope you all enjoyed. As I mentioned, I will be doing a few more flows for you, some not so dynamic. We'll be doing a few different styles of yoga, some slow flows, some hip openers. So I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you enjoy the rest of your days, and I will see you very soon.